Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Field Marshal Desert Fox, and we are in the city of Lost Rico. It's time for episode 9, and sorry again, another one of my famous yawns. Last episode we put in all of this. Last two episodes we put all of this in, but there is something I want to discuss that I did off camera. I'm gonna pause the game, just so. Alright, you know what? I'll let the game run just so you can see it kind of work. So if you remember, we did not have a connection from this area to this area. Now, I'm recording this approximately 12:36 a.m. About 12:30 a.m. on a Friday. Well, going into a Friday from a Thursday. And I started working on this at like probably this little section alone, with the highway interchange and all of that, and this and all the rest of the highway you're gonna see. I'm gonna show you in a minute. Took me up to about me starting this recording. So we didn't have this. Everything from the left side, everything this way did not exist. So I connected it all, and I used this interchange. It just looked the coolest in my opinion, and I just kind of hugged the coat of the water line this way to over here, and I thought about making this some sort of little. Basically, it looks to me like a little bit of a paradise. It's a rest area for the highway, and I thought I could zone in and make this a zone, or make this a district of leisure or tourism. Just because it's right here on the coast, and that would just look awesome. And then I would continue the highway all the way over here, add in one more interchange here and here to flood this area. So that way we would have, let me kind of zoom out here for you. We'd have, boom. So we'd have the main highway. Then we have our highway that goes around the outside of the city. And then we'd have the one that cuts right through the middle. So this one would cut through the middle, go right and go left. And we'll have basically just, hopefully, if it's done right, a really well put together city. But enough of that. Now let's get back into the other part of what I've done. And that is, oh, what have I done? Uh-oh. I've done a thing. Does that not want to? No, no, that's good. Alright. And I also bought, as you saw, I bought this tile and this tile, so I can do this. And then I started building here, so I can have the trams run out the back of it and the front of it, just to really work on the traffic in this area. And I mean, traffic flow is still heavy, but I'm okay with it. I can live with it. We do have some hot spots. I think it's just more of the heavy traffic than if anything. So what we're going to do today is we're going to zone, or we're going to start the layout of this side of the island, or this side of the city. And if I want to do this, I am going to straight line road it straight out. Boom. Just like I did earlier with the other side when I started the downtown. And one really good thing about this is now, well, I can't do that, but we can finally wrap this, if I can get it down there just well enough. Alrighty. We're going to wrap this as close to the edge of the water as possible without physically hitting the water. Even though I think in one spot we do hit the water, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. And just for space sake, we're not working on you right now. But what we are going to do is connect you. Oh, okay. It didn't want to connect. Alright. And I've decided just to full on go with trams for this city. I am really enjoying how the tram lines are turning out, which I'm not really that great at making tram lines, but for the sake of the purpose, I mean, I have tried very hard to make as efficient of a tram network as physically possible. Just connect these. And I'm not really worried about money, game money, just because I let the game run that whole time that I was building, and I just accumulated just an absolutely ginormous budget. So, but because we will have this, and I think we're gonna have to. Okay, you know what? Oh, we're going to have to move you. I'm sorry, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Because this is gonna be our buses. Now, because I'm dealing with a very weirdly hilly terrain, I think I want to have the buses run this way too. Just to give this area some sort of backup in terms of its traffic, and we can have some speed coming through here. So this is going to be our next project within the next 3 or 4 episodes. I am going to stay with the pattern of making these episodes shorter. So I guess this episode we are just going to start doing some basic subdivision creation. And I decided that all of our subdivisions from this point forward are going to have bike lanes. I want to try to maximize the I'm going to try my best to get the number of people, or to try and conquer the traffic problem in our city. And I think one of the ways I'm going to try to approach it is with the bicycles. So, a little bit of an overlooked aspect of the game. So, you guys are going to hear my alarm go off on my phone, so don't be, well, sorry to sound weird, funny, but, no pun intended, but when you hear the alarm go off on my phone, it will signal the end of our time for this episode. And we're gonna kind of continue with the whole abstract kind of idea here. look, a car. Wasn't really expecting a car to be over here that soon. What if... Can I do this? Huh. Coolio. Have a series of interconnected bridges, maybe. Now that could be something very special in the works. Okay, except I can't use this location. And when this zones in, when we zone this in, it's going to look, at least in what little opinion I can formulate, really, really cool. So consider this more of a breaking new ground episode. Just making plans for the future of our citizens. You know, because I consider you all mayors along with me as I do this, and you're in, and you know, these types of things matter. And okay, I'm gonna try to make these houses as small as possible. Not necessarily for like any real rhyme or reason. Just let's take one quick look at this from just afar. Well, if I can get my mouse to cooperate. I think that's kind of cool. You have all these little bridges that connect all these neighborhoods. 4 separate neighborhoods, basically, that are connected by all these bridges. Alright, and if you can't believe it, we are already over halfway through with our episode for today. So, I will drop in another one of these. I'm gonna make a small farm of these, just so we can stay on top of our production. And I think we have our clean water on the other side, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Now let's lay all the pipe work for over here. And I think after doing that, we will have to unfortunately call it an episode. But like I was saying, I'm gonna try to shorten these up for you guys. I don't want to bore you guys out. You know, if it was up to me, these episodes would, if I could, I'd make these episodes a half hour to an hour every time I record. Just because we can cover so much. And you know, spending time playing video games for people and putting it on the internet for people to watch. It's kind of cool, especially when you get some feedback and people ask you questions and inquire about what you're doing and why you're doing it, why you're doing it that way, what's your future plans and all of that. So I will probably do like I don't know, maybe like a channel like bulletin or something where I let everybody know who watches the channel, checks the channel out, what my recording plans are for the coming weeks. I know definitely for sure I'm gonna have Hearts of Iron 4, uh, War Thunder, but I want to add one and City Skylines because I yeah, City Skylines. That's all I needed to say. Plus, there's that huge new expansion pack coming out that focuses a lot on transit. So we're gonna get some new transit things for this game, which I think is really gonna spark a renewed interest. Well, not necessarily a renewed interest, but a reinvigorated interest in the game, which I am more than fine with. And we are going to drop in some services because I want to make sure when this area comes online for the people, I always want to see how this thing works. It's a hospital, but it like covers the road, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And we're gonna make sure our fire coverage is completely up to par. Along with our police coverage and our schools. And by schools, I mean I'm going to basically plop down a bunch of schools over here. Flood the area. So that way, I don't have to worry about the coverage not getting anywhere where I don't need it to. Let's take a look. So far, I think it's time. Do I want a zone? Yes, we're going to real quickly start doing some zoning. So, we're going to make it alright. Damn it. Yeah, so I didn't really massively intend on doing all of that off-camera building. But just because of time and I realized in one of the episodes it took me like 30 minutes just to do a single interchange and the city's problems were starting to like stockpile. I just figured it was kind of time to do a little bit of it on my own, just off camera, get the city kind of caught up with some much, needed upgrades, repairs, doing some mending here and there, and I understand that some people don't like when YouTubers that play City Skylines do off-camera building, but alright, well, unfortunately I just got to my timer, like 5 seconds before it was going to go off, so I'm going to finish zoning these in, and I'm going to call it an episode there, so I can, alright, so this is the next section of Lakewood, or not Lakewood. I was just started another city earlier today, and it was called Lakewood. But so today, at the end of episode 9, I've shown you our massive expansion. This is our other side of the massive expansion, and we are going to probably put an interchange here and here. So remember that. So this is all going to get reworked probably 3 or 4 times. But guys, until next time, I am the Field Marshal Desert Fox. Thank you guys for hanging out so much. Please remember to like, share, subscribe to the content, and subscribe to the channel daily for more daily content. Until next time, take care.